For many of us, one of our New Year's resolutions is to be wiser with money, but volatile markets can make that an uphill battle, especially for those with kids and a mortgage trying to make ends meet. Jordan Waxman is Managing Director at HSW Advisors and joins us here on lunch break. Jordan, good to see you.
Good to see you.
First, we've seen U.S. markets respond to domestic and international events with wild swings. You're expecting more volatility in 2016. How can the average investor put their plan in place and come up with a successful financial blueprint?
Well, great question, Shelby, and thanks for having me. If you expect volatility and you expect higher interest rates and there's going to be a focus on elections and a focus on balance sheets, then perhaps it's time to stop benchmarking how you're doing relative to the market and put in place a set of blueprints that can help your family now and as you get closer to retirement, and as you make decisions about your financial, insurance, tax, estate, legal matters, put all that stuff in place now.
Well, and I like the idea of having a blueprint. It sort of gives you a visual of a bigger plan, a bigger picture, if you will. What needs to be in that?
Anybody who's ever built a house wouldn't do it from scratch. They wouldn't do it without a general contractor. Anybody who's ever built a business wouldn't do that without a business plan. So an investment policy statement is the blueprints. That is what the general contractor uses to put in place everything in their life financially. So it is everything about your biases around investing, what you've done from a tax planning perspective, estate planning, what your financial objectives are, how you're managing towards retirement, any insurance that you've done, and it makes sense of the whole thing and leads towards a bespoke investment plan and a bespoke retirement plan and financial plan as well.
And how will 2016 be different from years past? For people who are making resolutions, it might not be their first time they're making a money resolution, but what's your advice heading into 2016?
My advice would be to work with a fiduciary, someone who has a legal obligation to act in your best interest rather than supporting products inside of their company. That's the first thing, because I think the conflicts of interest are getting a little bit too tangled at this point. And if you want to make sense of the whole world and give yourself the best opportunity to succeed, work with someone who has your best interest at heart. If you expect volatility in the markets and interest rates to go up, focus on investments where balance sheets are secure, where the financials of the company have a margin of safety so that you have the best opportunity to succeed in the investment sphere.
And what about gas prices? Because oil continues to be a big story. A lot of consumers have benefited from low prices at the pump. Is that something they should be factoring in here in 2016?
You know, I think in every investment model, people factor in 3.5% inflation, and we haven't seen 3.5% inflation in a decade.
Good point.
So low gas prices are probably here for a while because there's oversupply in the oil markets, but towards the back half of 2016, supply and demand should come back into equilibrium, and maybe gas prices aren't going to be this low forever. So anything that you've put in the bank, that's great. That's good to have for a rainy day.
All right, so be conservative, basically.
I think that's right.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. It's great to see you.
Great to see you.